Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock. It's time for another video, and today I am back with another episode of the Jess-umentary, which honestly, I have had more feedback on Magic TV. I've had people messaging, I've had people emailing, putting down various different things in the comments, talking about how this series is so inspirational. And the reason is very simple. I'm here with Jess Howard. Jess is a phenomenal magician, has been doing it since she was knee-high to a grasshopper, and she is now going through the journey of setting up all of her assets, setting up everything that she needs to set up in order to be a professional magician, in order to go out and get gigs and get paid for doing gigs, with the eventual goal of being a Las Vegas headliner. And if anyone can do it, Jess can. She is absolutely smashing it. We've only been doing this a few weeks, and already she's pretty much got a website ready to go. She's got assets in place. She's got everything in place. And every week, things are coming more and more together. We're building on the foundational stuff at the moment. And you're going to see in a second, you're going to obviously hear from Jess, but what you're seeing over this is the process that you go through to go from literally nothing to being a professional magician. And a lot of the time, it's building the foundations at the beginning. And then after you've built the foundations, things just happen very, very quickly. But you've got to make sure that foundational level is there. And what you're seeing every single week is Jess setting up that foundational level. Talking about Jess, here she is, the one and only Jess Howard. How you doing, Jess?
Fantastic.
Good. You had a good week so far?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah,
I have to be honest with you. You
yeah.
kind of fooled me. You did a trick on your Instagram, and I have no idea how it was done. It was the folded up card thing, and you folded it up, and I saw the card, and then it just changed. It was amazing. I have no idea how that works.
Thank you. It's not mine. My friend taught me it who learned it from someone else. So I'm not going to take credit for that, but
It's
thank you.
great. It's great. It's absolutely amazing. It's not very often I'm fooled, and I watched it, and then I did that thing that you do, didn't I? I watched it back like again and again. I'm like, maybe I missed something. No, I
You
didn't miss
completely.
anything. I'm just completely fooled. I've just got no idea how it works. Look at that! That thing there. I have no idea. Go and watch Jesse's Instagram, and while you do, go and like it and do all the fun stuff that you do with Instagram channels. But the that trick is amazing. Perfect trick for Instagram. Perfect trick for Instagram as well. It's
Thank
just
you.
really, really good. So let's find out how you've been going over the course of the week. Now, we spoke last week, and you were talking about entering J Day, entering the J Day competition. And you said there's a question mark because obviously you're turning 18 around about when the competition is. Have we got an update on that, first of all?
I mean, I asked Harry, and uh, I don't want to confirm on completely, but I'm pretty sure I can. Basically,
Okay, so if you can't, that means that Harry and Ed are really mean, and so you heard it here first on Magic TV, and they're not. They're lovely people, so I don't think we'll have a problem here at all. Um, so let's talk about. Let's start off. We normally start off talking about your social media and your website and what we've done with that. We'll get to that in a bit. Let's talk about. Let's just work under the assumption that you are actually entering the J Day competition. Now,
yeah,
the auditions are on, I looked into this. The auditions are on the 20th of September,
yeah,
which means that you have 6 weeks to get an act together because the rules are, and correct me if I'm wrong, I've done research, and by research, I asked Ryland, you've got to have an act for the 20th of September,
yeah.
and that act is the act that you will then do if you get picked to go to the to go to actually J Day as a competitor, and everybody can audition on the 20th of September, and they pick 6 acts, is it, for the
Yeah, six.
stage and
Yeah,
6 for the close up, and then if you're picked, you go through to J Day and you compete and potentially win the prize, right? That's how it works. Am I right in assuming that? Is that
yeah,
brilliant? Okay, right. So I've got that correct. So that means that you've got 6 weeks. Entering this competition will do great for a few things. One, it's a wonderful thing to talk about, but second of all, it gives you a goal. If we're trying to put a stage show together for you, this will give you a goal as to kind of you know where I know you've also got a gig booked in, but what I mean is you can make this a feature of your act. That's what happened with Ryland. Like Ryland literally went around the UK and then some, and around the world doing his Harry Potter act, and the only reason he put that act together was because he was in the Family Entertainer of the Year at Blackpool, and he's like, I need an act for the Family Entertainer of the Year. I'll do this act, but then that act is took into so many different places. So it can do the same for you. It's not so much competitions, there's a big debate in magic about, are competitions good for magic? I personally think yes, they are. But I think that the big thing that competitions do is it gives you a deadline to put something together that potentially could be bigger than just entering the competition, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and I know, and obviously, you've got that. When was that gig that you've got booked in the care home? When was it?
18th of August.
18th of August, which is in about 3.5 weeks' time.
Yeah.
So that's great because if you can put it together for then, you can run that 10 because it's meant to be 10 to 12 minutes, isn't it? Is that
Uh, 6 to 10.
6 to 10?
Yeah.
6 to 10, right? Okay. So you'll be able to run that 6 to 10 minute act in the in that as well. You'll be able to. We can say, right, okay, we need to get it down for the 18th of August because that's when your show is.
Yeah.
So, are you entering close up as well, or just stage?
I'm at the moment I'm only working on stage, but I've got a few ideas for close up, so I think I might enter close up as well.
Okay.
There's going
Well,
to be more of a parlor. My ideas for close ups a bit more parlor than close up, but that's kind of what it is anyway. So that
I've
works
I've
well.
seen the close up act. It's not really, you're doing
No, yeah,
it, so it's not really a close up act. I remember when I did the close up competition twice at Blackpool Magic Convention, and it was in the Spanish Hall to 4,000 people, and it's like, yeah, this is not close up. This is not a close up performance at all.
yeah,
So yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. So let's talk about the stage first, because I know that's your big passion. That's the thing that you're wanting to push more than anything. So have you got some ideas for this? I
yeah,
know we talked about music and we spitballed ideas, but you tell me, have we got more of a fleshed out thing now?
yeah. You can tell from the whiteboard back there. That's all J-Day ideas.
Brilliant.
Anyway, so if you say like I can use it in the act, parts of it I can, but what I've got planned is something kind of like YMC focused. I
Oh,
don't want to. So I don't want to give too much away, but I'll give you the rough outline, like because I only know the rough outline at the moment. So the idea kind of is like, okay, we're going to set the scene. I'm just going to tell you everything I've came up with at the moment. I've
okay.
given up. I'm not giving too much away. Um, so we set the scene. I'm sat like kind of on the edge of a stage, doing some kind of like in snow, like dress wintry, like a little kid. And then you you gotta really imagine this.
I'm imagining.
Right. And then I like I'm rubbing the snow, and then it it turns into like a manipulation ball, right? One of the white ones,
Yeah,
and then I
yeah.
do some ball stuff, sat there, and then the white ball goes into a red ball, right? And then a red silk from the red ball, and then the red silk like a Christmas card appears. We're getting there, right? So the Christmas card appears. So I open up the Christmas card, and then there is my YMC membership card in the Christmas card. So I take that, and then the Christmas card changes into like a letter, like I've is it? Oh yeah, I've this is a photocopy, but like the certificate of kind of like like being a member of the YMC,
Hmm.
signed by Kevin Doig himself. Um, and then the middle bit's a bit of a blur, so I do some stuff. I've got an idea of using like a big book, right, and like doing stuff with that to kind of set the scene to kind of represent my journey through magic. And then the final page in that book is sort of blank, and and like saying like J-Day 2025 in it. And for the last, this is all to music. The first half is one song, the second half is another song. Um, and then that last song worth is just going to be like my manipulation quick change act I've been working on.
Wow. And that's going to be the second part, the second half.
Yeah, but it will all link together. I've not quite fully worked it all out yet, but that's the idea.
That sounds amazing. That sounds really, really. I love the idea of your journey through sort of the YMC,
Yeah,
especially as it's going to be your last J Day. It's going to be,
my last workshop as well.
and your last workshop, your last everything.
Yeah,
It's like very poignant. That's great. That's amazing. That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a phenomenal actress. Like, um,
just need to make it now.
Yeah. So what? Okay, I've got to ask. This has got nothing. I just need to know. What's the flowers to do with?
A quick change, obviously.
Oh, of course. Of course. Why didn't I think of
Why?
that?
Yeah, why? What else would it be? But I'm thinking of like I was out today in like a scrap store. I've not been there for 10 years, but looking for stuff for this act, and I came up with this while I was there. I've got one of the changes is from like a green dress to kind of a flowery dress, and this one I'm actually taking the dress off as opposed to having a full. So the idea is this is just one piece, but I'll be holding a bunch of flowers in either hand, and then I'll kind of drop it with the dress as well.
Wow, that's amazing. And what's that? Do you have an idea in your head of what the finale will be?
Yeah,
Is that going to be the finale, the quick change?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Um, oh no, not this not the like quick change acts the finale, but the finale kind of like the very. Do you mean like the
Yeah.
last the
The,
like
the
the last
final,
2 seconds?
the final beat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite a final beat, but it's kind of a final few beats because the song I'm using for the end is Symphony. You know the one?
Oh yeah. A bittersweet symphony, or
No, no. Do you want me to play it just quickly?
yeah, go for it.
Um, just getting it. You recognize it? I don't know where my microphone is for them.
I'm not picking up the music, but normally I don't. Hang on. Let me. Hang on a minute. See if I can.
Did you pick any of that up?
None of it at all. Not
Oh, okay.
a single jot.
That one might be
Who's it? Who's it by?
Clean Bandit, featuring Zara Larsson.
Okay.
You'll recognise it when you hear it.
Let me see here. Let me
Imagine being able to build anything
give me one
just
second.
by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Okay, so I've loaded it up on YouTube. So if I just share the computer audio, you should be able to hear this.
Yeah. The
Oh,
first minute of this song will be manipulation,
I've
basically.
been hearing
are you going to
symphonies.
have it with the mute with the
Before
lyrics?
all I heard was
Yeah.
silence.
And then the
A
first,
rhapsody for you and
like,
me. And every
gosh,
melody is
first,
timeless.
like, chorus bit
Life
will
was
be the first
stringing
quick
me
change.
Hang on, I
along.
can't hear you. Let me just.
No,
Yep.
I can't hear me either. There we are. Yeah, the first beat drop will be a quick change. So the end of that song, basically, in terms of the ending, it's like it slows down a lot. It's like it's just back to the musical. And to kind of link it back to the earlier stuff, what I'm going to do for the very ending is have my book open in front of me and kind of like do the quick change like behind it, if you know what I mean, and then end it like that.
That's great. So how many changes will you do in the second half?
Um, 5 changes, 6 different dresses,
Wow.
hopefully.
Wow. That's
I only
great.
made a couple of them so far, but I've got hope. I've got hope.
That's great. Well, I wouldn't even know how to make a quick change outfit. I wouldn't even know where to start. Like I
I'm
wouldn't
kind of just making it up as I go, but I think it's going okay.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's great. Okay. And I've never seen you do like stage manipulation before. So you do multiplying balls and all of that stuff and for
Yeah.
the opening. Oh, great. That's amazing.
But
Okay.
not, I don't do it like it's going to be relatively simple. The
Hmm.
minute, oh yeah, it's going to be simple the manipulation because I'm not practiced enough at it to do something really complicated. But I think I'm practiced enough to at least try something simple, if you know what I mean.
Okay. That sounds great. And what have you manipulated? You said the second half is a quick change and a manipulation act.
Oh, um, well, just the first bit would be manipulation, like just with cards.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds brilliant. And I do think you're wrong, by the way, in terms of yes, it's very YMC centric, but I think this is something that could work at a real gig easily. If you if you talked about your journey into magic and you say, you know what, I fell in love with magic so many years ago when I found this place called the YMC. Now, the YMC is the Young Magicians Club, and it's the young magicians part of the magic circle, and it's there that I really fell in love with magic, that I really had my calling, I really found my passion. And I want to kind of show you something that is really important to me because it shows my journey into magic through the YMC. Music starts and you just go into it. I think that would work for any
Oh yeah,
audience.
yeah,
I think that's great. I think that's, because the best types of magic is when you've got an emotional hook. And if you can be, talking about something that means something to you personally, any audience would buy into that.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Wicked.
Oh, the other thing I was going to ask you, I'll ask you now just because it's kind of on topic. You know your theatre show in September.
Yes.
How long does that need to be? Because
How long do you want it to be?
well, I was thinking of doing probably changing a few bits up. But I was wondering if what basically now you know exactly or almost exactly what I'm planning on doing for JD. Do you think something like that would be suitable
Yeah,
for?
I think that would be brilliant. Yeah, I think
And
that'd be.
that would be 8 minutes, but does it need to be longer than 8 minutes?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
I've just. Have you seen the poster that we've done? Um, I've literally just finished the poster. Have you seen it?
Oh
We're
yeah.
we're gonna have two posters. I
I
need to.
may have sent the photos too late then. I only sent them this evening, the
No,
photos.
no, no. We've got two posters. So we've got the poster
Oh,
because it's going to be in two halves. So the first half is going to be
oh,
guest
Ryland
act.
and Thea. Oh yeah.
The first half is going to be guest acts, and the second half is going to be Ryland and Thea. So we're
Yeah.
having two posters, one of the guest acts and one of Ryland and Thea.
Oh yeah.
And we've got Facebook ads scheduled to go out as of tomorrow. But this is the first poster. We're just waiting for everyone's images before we do the second one, you see. Hang on. So, yeah, no, have you sent them over now? Because then we can get
Yeah,
the
I
work.
sent them today. Yeah.
Well, that's the first poster.
Very nice. I love the photos of them doing their illusion stuff because they just look like siblings.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's the tagline: brother, sister, rivals in magic, masters of mischief. So, yeah, you don't know whether you're watching magic or you're watching them kill each other. But yeah, I think that'd be great, and we're going to have it all. It's going to be a beautiful stage. We're going to have it properly lit. You know Alex Jessen from Matrix. You know Matrix Illusion.
Yeah.
So Alex is teching the show. Alex and his team are teching the show. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely astounding. So yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I'm totally into that, 100%. So that's cool. So are you going to try and get that? I mean, that's a lot of work. Are you going to try and get that for the 18th, or do you think it won't be ready for the 18th?
I was kind of hoping to have got the quick change part ready for the 18th, but as I'm kind of getting more and more into it, I'm not sure if it will be ready or not because there's a lot to do,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
especially because I don't know what I'm doing yet fully.
Especially as you're literally learning to make quick change outfits by making it up. I mean, that's probably one of the most impressive things I've ever heard in my life. Brilliant. I love that. But the cool thing is, if the auditions are on the 20th and you're doing the show on the 13th, that's the week before. I mean, talk
Yeah,
about a great trial run for that. I mean,
trial run up at a big theatre. Yeah,
trial run at a big theatre. There you go. Bigger theatre than the
Magic
the
Circle.
Magic Circle. So,
Yeah,
that'll
yeah.
be good. Brilliant. Okay. And what you say that you're planning on parlor act for close up, is that anything that you have in mind for that, or?
Well, I think I just hadn't slept for about 3 nights when I came up with this idea, but I you know how I was talking about my pink jacket last week. Um,
Yes. Yes, the pink jacket. Yeah.
I was thinking of doing a close up act all about pockets.
As in just pockets in general. Anything specifically about pockets?
I don't know. I think I'm just gonna. It's gonna be a bit of a miracle if I get through, to be honest. But I think I'm gonna. I wrote a few ideas on my phone, but I just can't remember any of them on the top of my head. But I was thinking like I'm just gonna do. It's gonna be a little bit of a funny act, not too funny, but just a bit funny because it's stupid. And I'll do some technical magic tricks such as card to pocket, see that, and oh, sorry, right. This is, I remember now. I had the idea. I got these a wine the other week because I got my white manipulation balls which we were talking about before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, right, look at these mini disco balls, right? So I put one ball in my pocket, but then it's not actually in my pocket, is it? Put one, but it's not in my pocket. Like just stuff like that. I'm not I'm not quite worked out yet, if you can't tell, but yeah, something
I,
along those lines.
you know what? The most important thing of an act is that it's unique and it's different,
Oh,
and you're not doing the same thing as everyone else. That is 100% unique. It's different. It's
yeah,
unusual. That's, and there's a lot you could do with pockets. You could actually, talk about, portals to another dimension. Anything that goes in the pocket goes. Yeah, there's a lot you could.
exactly.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. Well, look, it's your last J day. You may as
Yeah,
well go on high and try to at least enter both of them and
yeah,
see what happens. There's no harm. There's no harm at all.
yeah. Can you tell I put more thought into the stage act?
Well, yeah. I mean, you obviously focus more on the stage act than you are
Yeah.
the close up. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, great. We'll see where you're at with that next week. We'll swing back on that next week. Where are you with the website? Is this ready to go?
Basically, yeah.
Shall we have a look at it?
Yeah. Let me see if I can get it up before I share my screen because the
Just
internet is just throwing me over today.
okay. Well, let me just.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very similar to last week. I've edited the text on the about section, but I've done it like on a document because I wanted to compare it, so I just need to compare that still, but
Okay.
it's ready to go out. But basically the main thing I've done is, oh, I need to share my screen. Share. Here. Can you see that?
Yep, I can see you started screen sharing. Yes.
Wait, am I? Oh yeah, here. So same as before.
Yep. Love
And
that.
then
Love that
I've
picture.
added on the YouTube videos.
That looks good, doesn't it? Oh, so you set the YouTube channel up and you've
Yeah.
put the shorts up. Brilliant.
And then that's the thing. And I've edited the contact form to have the sections you suggested. I need to do the required fields, but I need to get on my mum's computer to do that because when I was trying to do it on mine, it was kind of like cut off the side, the like OK button, so and it
Got you.
wouldn't let me zoom out. So I'm gonna do that when I can get on her computer basically. Um which will be whenever, but it's ready to go without that really. But it's just a bit annoying. I couldn't get that sorted. And then that's basically all that's changed from the website.
That's
Obviously,
great.
that contact form's changed to be the same as.
As you've set up a YouTube channel as well, I know you've put the YouTube videos down there, which really look good. I mean, that kind of covers the fact that you haven't got a show reel.
Yeah.
So that's great. But at the top where you've got your links through to your show to your social media,
Oh, yeah, I'm not
you
for the
may as
YouTube.
well put a YouTube one in there as well,
Yeah.
because obviously now you've got the YouTube channel, it kind of makes sense to put that in there.
Yeah.
That's great. And are you going to have a separate tab at the top that links through to videos as well? Because you've got the tabs that go to the other sections, haven't you? But
Oh, yeah.
you've added a video section into the middle, so it'd probably be worthwhile because some people might just come in on that main image and go, oh, I'm looking for a video. Oh, videos, and they can click on there, and then they can go down and they'll be able to see your YouTube content.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And also, obviously, when I've written the first blog, I'll add a blog tab as well.
Yeah, definitely add a blog tab.
Yeah. But that's about all the change to the website this week.
That's great. I mean, that's pretty much ready to go. You know, when you do the J Day, will you have video? Will they give you video of your act?
If you get through to the final, yeah.
Okay, well, there's another reason there's another. You got through to the final last year, didn't you?
No, I was as close, but yeah, I didn't quite.
I thought you did. So yeah, we definitely. Well, you need to get through because we need to get this video filmed.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, we're going to get footage at the 13th as well. We're going to have footage from the show, but it would be good to have footage from the Magic Circle as well. Okay, brilliant, 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 brilliant. That's great. That's great. So, have you considered domain names?
well, I've thought about it, but I was just thinking maybe like Jess-umentary dot whatever.
Yeah. Typically, it's best to go for a .co.uk unless you're planning
Yeah,
on being an international star, which you are eventually, obviously. But as a lot of your work at the moment will be in the UK, it's probably best to go for Jess Howard, magician.co.uk. I mean, that
yeah,
works. That does the job. Brilliant. Okay, so I mean, that's pretty much ready to go. So you can connect that whenever you want, and we can make that live, which is brilliant because that's a big part of this whole thing done and out the way. We've now got your own area on you on the internet. What we'll then have to do is continue to update it and continue to do stuff with it. Um,
yeah.
the other thing that we need to do, have I mentioned to you much about Google My Business?
Not, I don't think so. No.
Okay, so let me explain something to you. Right. Okay. Because this is something you can do when you set your website up. This is the boring business stuff, but it's really important because step one is getting your website. Step two, the ultimate goal is for that website to be found by people, right? Because you can, I think I said to you earlier on, a few weeks ago, you can have the best website in the world, but if nobody knows that that website exists, what's the point? Right.
Yeah,
So the most important thing is to get people to go to your website and get people to find your website. And there's two ways that you can do that. The first way is organically, which is people type something in and organically you show up in the search terms. So, and the ultimate goal for any business in any industry is to appear on page one of Google. Because here's a question for you, Jess. When you search for something, I'm guessing you use Google to search for something, yeah? How often do you go to page two?
hardly ever.
Hardly ever, right? You just look at what's on page one, you pick something that looks like it's most appropriate, and you click that. Page two, I've spoken to magicians that go, "Oh, I'm on page three of Google." Well, that's just crap. So the ultimate goal is to be on page one, because if you're on page one, you're going to have more inquiries. And like I said to you, more inquiries equals more bookings equals more gigs, and so on and so forth. So the ultimate goal is to be on page one of Google. So you can do that organically, and we'll talk about methods of doing that organically. The cool thing is, unless you want to pay an agency a small fortune to work on your SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, which you don't want to do, then a lot of this you can do for free. The SEO of your website, you don't have to spend any money on it. You can do it for free, which is amazing, right? The other way of doing it is PPC. Have you heard of PPC?
No.
Okay, so PPC is also known as Google AdWords. It stands for pay per click. And it's
Oh
basically
yeah.
advertising on Google. Have you ever Googled something and at the top it says sponsored listing?
Yeah.
That person is paying to be at the top of Google. Okay, and it's called pay per click because it's kind of a complicated system, but basically you don't pay to be shown at the top of Google. You pay when people click on your ad. So you only pay if people click on your ad. So you set an amount that you want to spend, and you do various search parameters and so on and so forth, and then you pay per click. So my company, for example, we do PPC, but we also do SEO. So a lot of the time will appear organically on page one, but at the same time will also appear on page one for with an advert as well, which is kind of the best bet. That's what you want, really, ideally. So with that in mind, that's a long, drawn out way of saying, for now, let's park the PPC thing. Let's not do PPC for now. For now, we're going to focus on search engine optimization, and we're going to try and do as much of it as for free as we can. Okay, or all of it for free, really. And the first thing that you need to do is Google My Business. Now, I'm going to share my screen with you, and you can't really do this until your website's live. But I mean, your website's pretty much ready to go live. So what I'm going to do is, I have no idea why I'm sharing that with you because you don't need to see Ryland's poster. I'm going to share my there you go. I'm going to share this. No, I'm going to share this. I'm going to share this. No, I'm not. I'm looking at. Sorry about this, Jess.
No.
Right, there we go. That's what we need. Right, okay. Okay. Share. Take 3. Perfect. So I'm going to share Chrome with you, which is Ryland's website, but we don't need to worry about that. What we do need to worry about is so Google, whatever. Let's just do that. Right. So Google. Let me show you something. For example, if I type in close-up magician, boom. So if I type in close-up magician, or actually close-up magician Warsaw. I'm in the Warsaw area, so let's do close-up magician Warsaw. Do you see up here? You've got sponsored links, sponsored here. So that is an advert. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, underneath here, do you see this section here where it's like got businesses and it's got all of this stuff here? Yeah. And it's got like Slightly Unusual Limited, which is my company, and you've got Close-Up Magician Chris, Magician for Hire, all this sort of stuff, right? What that is Google My Business. So this is kind of giving you, I can actually expand on that, and you can kind of bring this up and see all of this stuff and so on and so forth, right? And you could do it the same with this person, and that's Google My Business. So if we type in Close-Up Magician in Derby, for example, there we go. There should be a Google My Business down here. There you go. You see, there's Google My Business down here, and then Tom, my friend Tom, is showing up organically on page 1. Yeah. So, but these up here are sponsored listings here, here, and here, and these are Google My Business, right? So Google My Business, this stuff here, is a free listing, and any business, and a lot of businesses forget to set up Google My Business. So if we Google My Business, I'll show you what you have to do. Google My Business listing. Here you go. So you're going to see the first hit is get listed on Google, create a free business profile. So stand out on Google with a free business profile. So it's free, it's easy, and it's personalized, which is great. So you click on Start Now, and all it's going to do is you'd put in your business name. So here, for example, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to go through this, but your business name might be Jess Howard Magician. So you can then create a business with this name, right? I'm not going to do that now. And business category, you can select the category that you're in, and then you click on next, and it's going to ask you a few questions like opening hours and have some photos that you can put up in there and so on and so forth. That's why you're waiting until you've got a website, because it's going to connect to your website, and it's going to push them through to your website, and you have a contact phone number in there and so on and so forth. But what's going to happen is it's going to create you your own business profile. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, if we go back to, let's do Wedding Magician. Wedding Magician. Warsaw. Or Cannock. I'm in Cannock. Let's do Wedding Magician Cannock. There you go. So you can see that I'm actually Slightly Unusual are up there twice. And the reason we're up there twice is because once it's a sponsored listing. You see that I'm there as a sponsored listing, so a paid ad, but I'm also there with my own thing, right? And then you can see that there's all of this stuff down here as well, right? Okay, and they're slightly unusual again, organically appearing there. But the most important thing here is Google My Business. So what happens is when you set up Google My Business, and we'll use slightly unusual thing as an example, you can see here that there's a link directly through to my website. So if I click on there, it's going to go through to my website, right? There's also directions, so you can find out how to get to my office if you want to. Not that you want to do that. You can call. So on a mobile phone, you'd be able to call the office directly. And then you've got all of these reviews. So I've got like 70 reviews. Now, review strategy is very, very important when you're actually building a business, because you want to try and get as many reviews as possible. I mean, 70 is not so bad. We're doing a lot of work on the reviews at the moment. If I type in kids entertainer, Canuck, because obviously I have a kids entertainment business, you can see there we've got 723 on Google, right? So it's really important to have as many reviews as you can. 70 is okay. We're doing a bit of work on that at the moment, and you can click on there and you can look at the reviews, and you can see all the different reviews you've got for your company, and so on and so forth. And then there's an overview. You can look at all the different products that the company has. You can look at the opening hours. You can have a write-up. There can be updates on there. There's links to your social media, so on and so forth, right? And then there's photos. We've got like 57 photos in there. So that is all Google My Business, right? So when you set up a profile, you are going to have that, and that's going to be a massive help towards getting more business. Now, how this works is you can't just set it up and then it goes live and then that's it. That's not how it works. They want to know that you are a real business and that you really operate from the place that you'll say you're operating from. Now, by the way, you don't have to, I've got an office. So I've got my office there so that people could go and visit the office if they wanted to. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Like, I know, you have to put an address of where you're based. So you'd have to put your parents' address. But I imagine your parents wouldn't want you to have their house up for everyone who searches for a magician in your area. Their house comes up and people come knocking on their door. So like you can see this person here, they haven't actually got a directions tab on there. So you can't actually, if you see this person, you can't actually see where they are on a map. You just know that they're in and around that area. So when you set up a profile, you can select that you don't want to appear on, you don't want your address to appear on search, so that not everybody knows where you live, which for a privacy point of view is probably fairly useful. But what happens is you put your address in there. You have to put your address in there. And then what happens is it then sends you a letter through the post. Within 7 days, you'll get a letter from Google with a code. And then you go back into your Google My Business listing and you put the code in there. And when you've put the code in there, that activates the listing, because Google used to have a problem with people setting up fake Google My Business accounts for lots of different areas. So somebody would say they operate in 100 different places across the UK. So now they require you to prove it. So if you say that your business is listed at this address, they send you a letter so that they can prove that you're at that address. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you would fill this in, you'd put your website in there, and then they'd send you a letter and then you'd activate the letter. Now, like I said to you when we first started working together, one thing that's important is that you have as many reviews as possible, right? If we click on more businesses, these are all the businesses in the area. And look at that, 2 sponsored ads, 2 companies, both mine. I obviously spend way too much money on pay-per-click. But you can see here, look, 146 reviews, 70 reviews, 19 reviews, 24 reviews, 155 reviews, 10 reviews, 17 reviews, 182 reviews, 42 reviews, 8 reviews, 5 reviews, 2 reviews. That's my old one. Didn't even know that was still in. operational. That was the very old Google My Business listing. We need to get rid of that. That's weird. So you can see that you want to try and get as many reviews as possible, right? So the other thing that I'm going to suggest you do, and this is something that I'm actively doing at the moment with my team, and it's a very useful thing to do, is once you've set up your Google My Business, have you ever heard of a Google review card?
No.
Google review cards for business. There we go. There's quite a few of these. Don't do that. There we go. Okay. So there's quite a few of these. Let's have a look at reviewcards.com. That looks like a good one. So you can get these, and this is probably the best thing that you could get. This one here is reviewcards.com. And what a Google review card is this? It's here, it's £15. It's one off. You only have to spend £15 once. You can collect, and it's basically a credit card type thing. It looks like that, and it says here, tap to review. And as it says, no subscription, one-time purchase, collect more reviews in seconds. So you pay your £15, and then what happens is, and you can have one for an extra £5 with your logo on it if you want to, not that that's really needed. But then what happens is, let's say that you are, because your goal is to get as many reviews as possible. So let's say you're out, I don't know, with friends, and you're just showing some friends some magic. And you say to them, oh, you know what? I've got my own website. Leaving a review on Google would really help my business. Could you just leave it, tap, and you bring your card out and you have them just tap their phone against the card, and it'll automatically come up with a page where it says, please review this business. And in like 5 seconds, they can just type in, Jess was amazing. I love her magic. She is so awesome. Click 5 stars, hit send, you've got a review. If you go to like a restaurant, we talked about restaurants, if you get a restaurant and you go around and people go, oh my God, that's amazing, you can just say, oh, brilliant, would you mind leaving me a review? Just tap this with your phone. It's so easy to do. The reason why in the old days it took ages to get reviews is because it's a pain in the arse for people to leave reviews. It's just a pain in the butt. But with this, you can get reviews in like 5-6 seconds. It's so simple to do. And it doesn't just have to be clients. It can be, as I say, you're out with friends and you get your friends to tap on the card with your phone. It could be family members. You know, you're showing some magic to your family, and they you go, hey, can you leave a review for me? Even people at school, you know, if you're doing magic at school or the YMC or anywhere like that where you're around people, if you've shown them some magic and they like it, you can have this card in your wallet or in your purse or whatever it is that you carry with you, or in your pocket, and you can just take it out and you can get them to tap it, and within like 5 seconds you've got another review. And that's what we're doing. I've neglected the reviews on Slightly Unusual. It should be where my other company is, which is at about 700 or 800 reviews, and it's just not, and that's on me, and I'm currently in the middle of like changing that. But the one of the ways that we're doing that is with that Google review card. So once you've set up your Google My Business, having a review card like this is great, because it's going to mean that you're going to have a lot more reviews. And then if you imagine, if you have, so what area are you in again?
Wiltshire.
So in Wiltshire. Okay, so you see Dan's got 84. Merchants of Magic doesn't really count because that's a shop. 605, 129, 80, 79, sorry, 78, 39, 146, 182. You know, there's you know, they've got quite a few reviews here. So you want to compete with those people. If somebody was searching for a magician in your area, and then it was like all these people, and then it was you, and it was like Jess Howard, no reviews. You'd kind of almost go, well, yeah, how good is she going to be if she's got no reviews? So you want to try and get as many reviews as possible, right? So simply the strategy here is make the website live, get a really cool domain name, make the website live. Then once you've made the website live, set up Google My Business as soon as possible, and then get into the habit. So when you look at Google My Business, you can update this. So you can update it quite regularly. So, I mean, Dan Char, I don't know if you know Dan. Dan is an amazing magician. And you can see, look, he's updating stuff. He's like, he's putting reviews on. You can go into your Google My Business, and when you put something on your Facebook, or you put something on your Instagram, or you put something on YouTube, you can actually update it onto here as well. And you want to do whatever you can. The way that you go above everyone else outside of the sponsored listings, the way that you get above everyone else on these Google My Business listings is by literally just keeping them updated. So making sure that people are leaving regular reviews on there is a great thing to do. Making sure that all the information is correct, making sure that you're getting reviews, making sure that you're putting updates in, you're adding more photos, just stuff like that. Very, very important, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And you want to get into the habit of doing that on a regular basis. So if you write a blog, you put a little thumbnail together for the blog, and you stick the blog in here, and you make sure that people can see the blog. That sort of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then the other thing that you want to do, another way, and I'm not going to get too much into this right now. I don't want to overload you, but the other thing that you want to do is, when it comes to SEO, there's a lot of stuff that we can do, and all of it is free. And the blog, I talked about writing blogs. If you can update the blog like once every fortnight, you write a blog once every fortnight, or and that's amazing. Once a month minimum, but once a fortnight would be great, because the blogs are really going to help push your SEO up to the next level, right? Because they're going to show Google that you're constantly adding content to your website, which is making it stand out. But the other thing that you can do is a link building strategy. Now, we'll get into link building at some point in the future, because you want to have specific links, but there's no harm. There's no harm in doing this. So if you type in to Google business listings Wiltshire UK, for example, if you type in so look, there are tons of business listings, and a lot of them will allow you to do free listings. What these business directories are is they're places that list thousands of businesses, and people will go on there and look for businesses in a specific area, and there's lots of them. It's worth putting a free listing in all of them. Now, all of them will try to get you all of them will try and get you all of them will try and get you to do a paid listing. Don't do a paid listing. You don't need to do a paid listing. But you can go into a lot of these. Here, I'll try it for free. Boom. So that's one that you can do for free. Here we go. Here's another one. Yale.com, add your business for free. So Yale.com, get a free business profile to boost your online visibility and reputation. And it's literally just first name, last name, business, postcode, business phone number, business email address, continue. You'll then be asked to set up a profile, with maybe photos and things in there. That sort of stuff is really useful. Wiltshire Business Directory. Here's another one. You can add a business. They'll normally have add business, and they'll try and get you to do premium, or they'll try and get you to do standard, but you can do a free one, and you can have 6 images in there. You can have a website in there. You can have all of this stuff. So click get listed, and you can put all of that in there, write the company description, so on and so forth. And what you want to try and do, by the way, is you don't want Google to think you're spamming the internet. So you don't want to write the same description every single time on every single listing. Vary it up a little bit. Now, AI can help you with that. ChatGPT can help you with that. You can write a listing, and then you can say to ChatGPT, hey, I've got this listing. I've got this information about me as a magician. Can you please make 10 variations of that? That look different but come across with the same message. So it can do that for you, right? And it can create slightly different versions that you can use in all of your different listings. But this will take you a long time because there's a hell of a lot of them. Like, as you can see, here's another one, Wiltshire Business Directory, add your business up here. Boom. You know, there's so many of them. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything. It's a laborious process. It will help because all of those business listing websites are there specifically to improve your visibility online. So if you've got listings in as many as possible, what's happening is each one of those listings will allow you to have a link back through to your website. So they're linking back to your website. So Google's going to see that all of these businesses are linking back through to your website. That's not the best link in the world. You know, when we talk about link building strategy, we're talking a lot of the time like, you know, you want a high value website linking back to you. So, you know, if you could get a recommendation, if you could get an article on the BBC about you that links through to your website, well, that's worth its weight in gold. But as we haven't got that at the moment, and that will come later on down the line, having all of these listings are great because people do use them. They go onto those websites looking for various different things. If you can show up and then they can click on you and they can get through to your website, then that's amazing. That's really cool. So it's a boring process. You can do it while you're thinking of your J-Day act. But yeah, that's step one for this week from a business point of view. Step one, set up your website and have your website up and running and operational, and shout about it on, put together a graphic, you know, like put together a picture when your website goes live. I'm not suggesting you do this, but something like, you know, you holding a sign, a handwritten sign, www.jesshoward.com, you know, and just looking really excited. And then it's underneath, hey, my website's now live. Go check it out. Hey, all things Jess, or whatever it may be. So promote that the website's live. That's step number one. Then step number two, as soon as you can, get a Google My Business listing and look out for that envelope that they're going to send you. And as soon as they send it you, activate that listing and start putting stuff in it. Step three, start setting up all those free links that go directly through to your website. And then finally, as well, try and get a Google review card because the second you've got your Google listing, you want to try and get some reviews as well off people.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Whilst at the same time trying to figure out how to win J-Day, messing around with your flowers, creating dresses, working out what you're going to do with your pockets and your hot print jacket, and everything else. I mean, that's a lot. That's an awful lot. But I also think by the time that we see each other next, try and, because in reality, like you say, it's unlikely you're going to have this act together for the 18th, but the 18th is going to be a good opportunity for you to do something. And we talked earlier on about doing 30 minutes of close up and 30 minutes of stage.
Oh yeah.
So
I emailed them.
Huh?
I emailed them about that, and they said that's fine. And yeah, basically.
Brilliant. So you're all sorted. Somebody keeps texting me while I've been. Who is it? Oh dear me. Client. So what was I saying? I can't even remember. Oh yes. Yeah, so yes, for next week, I completely had a mental blank. For next week, or next time we see each other, try and put a 30-minute act together as well. So assume that you're not going to be able to do the J-Day act because it won't be ready. And think of the 30-minute act that you can do for that as well. And we'll work on that as well as working on the website, working on the business, working on the J-Day act. We'll kind of just juggle everything together.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah. In terms of the website, is it like when I was looking just briefly on Wix, is it the basic plan which gets you the domain? Or do you need,
Yes, it should be. I haven't done it in a while, but the basic plan, hang on, let's have a look. Here we go. So Wix pricing. Here we go. Wow, it's got a lot more complicated since I last looked at it. Pricing plans, an overview. No, that's not pricing plans. No. There we go. How much does it cost? There you go. light, free domain for 1 year, 2 gigabytes of storage, multi-cloud hosting, light marketing suite, 2 site collaborators. That's fine. I don't think you need anything else other than that. You can normally get a discount if you do annually as well. I mean, it's trying to get you to do £25 a month, but stuff off. Free domain for 1 year, 2 gigabytes of storage space. I mean, it's quite a short amount of storage space, but I mean, it's not a very big website that you've got there.
No.
Yeah, and you should be able to get. Here we go. Here's a comparison. Collaborative site analytics. So you got site analytics. Customer care, lead capture forms, yes. Fields per form, that's fine. You don't need to sell on Marketplace. You don't need an e-commerce platform. You're not planning on selling stuff. Yeah, I'd just go for the light, the £9 a month. But there is normally somewhere a yearly thing where you can click on year and it gives you like 2 months free. So I don't know, you might want to look into that.
Yeah.
Start for free. Yeah, have a look into that. But I would just go for the light for now. I don't think you need anything other than that.
That's good.
Yeah, and have a look for that annual plan. Don't be afraid to give them a call as well. Sometimes these places are better if you call them. But yeah, you're doing great. You're doing absolutely brilliant. Have you got any other questions for me?
I thought I had one, but I can't remember. No, I don't think so.
No, have we lost it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind.
No problem at all. No problem at all. Well, look, you're doing amazing. You've got a lot there to work on. But I'll be seeing you again next week. But yeah, you're amazing.
Thank
There
you.
you go. Guys, let us know in the comments down below what you think. I think Jess is doing amazing. I can't wait to see what happens over the next couple of months. And I can't believe we've been doing this for like 4 or 5 weeks, something like that. And you've already got a website and we're talking about getting Google reviews and everything. You're like lightning fast. It's amazing. Guys, leave a comment down below. I will be back with Jess again next week, so make sure you look out for that. But until then, thank you so much for watching. My name's Craig. This is Jess Howard, and you have been watching the Jess-umentary right here on Magic TV. Say bye, Jess.
Bye.